everyone, I am in the mood for doing a lovely festive series for you, but I also want to do something in Small Victories. So I have chosen this page here, and I thought that it would be fun. I'm just going to put some paper behind the page to do some festive style colouring in these four on this page. So let's have a go, and you could always use it as your sort of advent page. I know Johanna is challenging us to do a picture a day from Small Victories. I have been having a go, but I haven't always been doing one picture. I've sometimes been doing a bit of one. But anyway, I've got my Ergosofts, my Staedtlers today, because we've got a lot of small detail. And what I was thinking is we could use some, what I associate with being festive colour combinations. Now I know traditionally we would really only use red and green, but I know people do purple and silver, they do sort of oranges and coppers, and maybe blues and golds, different things. So I am going to start with a red combination. This is 29, so it's turned over. Just getting my little list. This is called Carmine Red, but for me this is the most ready red, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to do the florals with this one. Now, because I'd like the base and the tip both to be quite intense colour wise, just so they don't fade away, I'm going to actually make a bit of shine in the centre of the petal. So I'm putting most colour here and down here, and then a little less towards the middle. Now if you've got a set of Staedtlers or Ergosofts that doesn't have 29, then there are a couple of ways to make a more vibrant red. I used to combine, actually I'm looking, number 2 is supposed to be red. Oh, that's the orangey red, isn't it? Yeah, I used to combine 2 and 23, so layer them on top of each other. That made quite a good red. Or 2 and 6, so orangey red and a violet. The violet's quite good at darkening the red. The only thing is, if you're doing that, you need to really gently build up the layers. Don't plaster down a thick layer to start with, because then you've got nowhere to go with your other colour, and if you put each layer on too thickly, they just cover each other up. So what you need to do is try and mingle them together by doing light layers. But you might just feel that number 2 red is, or number 23, is that, am I speaking right? 24, sorry, 23. I'm confused myself now. Whether they're, oh yes, because 24 is supposed to be scarlet red, and to me it's just dark orange. You know, but you might feel those are good enough as they are without combining. But just have a look on some other paper, or start putting them down gently on in your book and see what you think. But for me, this is the perfect red for what I want. But obviously we're all different. So I hope everyone's getting into the Christmas spirit. I really am very excited already. Well, last night in our town they don't switch the lights on anymore. See, a lot of towns have this sort of tradition where everyone gathers for the switching on of the Christmas lights. They don't do that in our town because they don't have a way to put them all on at once. I think they're on time switches or something, I don't really know. So they don't do that, but everyone gathers on, they call it the Goodwill evening, and they have charity stalls in certain places. They used to be in the streets, but these days they tend to be inside various venues. And they also have craft stores and markets, and they have sort of food vendors, and there's a very mini, it was advertised as the fun fair, and I went last night. And the fun fair, there were 3 rides. There was a sort of roundabout with different vehicles on that you could sit on. There was a teacup roundabout ride, and then there was one for older kids, which was I'm trying to think what you would call it. It's like a long seat, everyone sits in a row, and then it just sort of takes you round and round and everyone screams. I don't know what it's called. It's called Dance something. This is number 5, and I'm going to use it for the foliage for this one. And so that's all they had for the rides, because they haven't got a lot of space in the town centre to put it. They put it in a car park. So I'm just trying to leave the centre free so it sort of looks shiny, but all the primary schools, or a lot of the primary schools, have volunteers go in to help the children make lanterns. And basically they use, they make a bamboo framework, and then they stick plain white tissue paper over it, and then if they wish they can then put coloured tissue paper over it. And every year they have a theme. It was Under the Sea was the theme, so we had lots of fish, had a giant octopus. Yeah, that was about it. It was lots of fish. But it was that. So the children all parade down round the route, around the streets, always accompanied by parents and grandparents, you know. It was a 10-minute, lasted 10 minutes, which is good. They have a little band at the front. I don't know who the band are. They're not brilliant, but they just create a beat to get everyone moving, you know. And then they have, there were some Morris dancers. I was going to say men, but they were mainly women. They had some Morris dancers and things like that, so that was quite good. So I enjoyed that. I'm not really into Morris dancing, which just adds to the sort of occasion. I'm trying to think of what colour to do my leaves and just blow my nose. Excuse me. I think I'm going to do the gold. I'm going to use the golden ochre number 16. I think that might tie it all together quite nicely. Now I haven't been mixing colours or anything, I've just been doing it all quite plain, and I think it's worked okay. So with these leaves I'm going to do what I did with the others and try and create a little bit of a shine effect by leaving a little bit of a paler bit just across the middle. If you don't want to do that, you can just leave it plain. So yes, so I went out for that, and all the shops, well, the independent shops, the small shops that are owned local businesses, they all stay open late, so you can go and do shopping as well. And sometimes they have discounts, or they're giving away things like maybe a mince pie, a drink of some sort, you know, a mulled wine or something, or they might be have money off and things like that. And so you can do that as well. And the big chains, they didn't stay open. They don't, but the smaller shops do. And it was, I arrived at town, I got to town for 5 and I grabbed myself a bag of chips. Now I mean like French fries, I suppose you would say. So I went to the fish and chip shop. I didn't get fish, it seemed really expensive, and there was a huge queue as well, and I thought maybe they're all waiting for it, so I just got a bag of chips. And they're huge, the bags of chips anyway. And then walked on into town, and it was really cold, and I couldn't have my glove on because I was eating my chips. I kept burning my tongue. It was all part of the fun really. And just had a good wander around to see what was going on. And then when I'd finished them, I went into some shops and did a bit of shopping. It was quite quiet, but the procession began at 6 and I was maybe a little early, but I went around a couple of the craft markets. It started busying up, and then I went to the start of the procession, and it was so busy in the starting area I couldn't get anywhere near. So it suddenly had busied up. Now, background on this. Now I've brought through some pens so I could do like metallic or glitter, but I think it's going to take too much from the picture to do a pen. What I'm going to do, I think, is do a small background in pencil and then use my pen to do a few highlights or bits rather than doing the whole background in pen. But it's up to you. If you'd rather do pen for the whole background, then I couldn't quite understand that, because I've got to think of what colour to do it. And I'm thinking I could go with a yellow, I'm wondering, to just sort of, would it work like a warm yellow, or I could go for a grey, sort of silvery. I think, or I could just do a blue, but that's not very Christmassy in this context. I can make it look, I think I'm going to do yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fade it towards the centre of the shape, I think. I'm going to try it. This is number 11, which is the sand. And I'm going to use this all the way around the edge. And I'm going to try and layer it up a bit here and then fade it into the centre a bit. This bit's going to take the longest, I should imagine. If you don't fancy doing this, you could just choose a yellow. I wouldn't choose one this orangey. I would go for the 10 or the 1. Probably the 10, to be honest. And just block it in. So you've just got a yellow, plain yellow background. Or you could get a yellow felt tip pen or marker pen and just colour it in yellow. Or you could get a metallic pen and use a gold or something like that. It's up to you. So anyway, I actually got a cup of coffee to drink during the parade, and unfortunately I didn't clip the lid down properly on my disposable cup. And as I was drinking my coffee, I had no idea, but I was slowly tipping it all down my coat. Luckily, it's really dark. Nobody saw. It was fine. But I didn't see either. I probably would have noticed had it been light. But it was fine. And my coat survived, dried out, and it didn't matter. So I watched that and then went home and got quite cold. It was -3 last night. So this is number 1. So I'm going to go over what I've done and then bring the colour in further into the shape. But I went on my own. None of the family wanted to go, and the children have grown out of it. I remember doing it with them when they were really young. They got all excited. It was really good. But you know, now they're old, they didn't want to do it. And one, you know, they just tired. One of them was really tired last night, and the other one just didn't want to do it. So I went on my own, and I had a great time. And then this morning, we've put up the Christmas tree. That's good. It's actually the date, what's the date? 2nd of December today. So as soon as it's December, I think you can put the tree up. Some people do it earlier. I had considered doing it earlier, but I do get a little bit, I'd not say bored of it, but I get a bit like it's messy and I want to tidy it away by the time it's sort of early January. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have it hanging around for so long that I would get annoyed with it. So I thought I'd hold out until this weekend and put it up. So that was good. So we've got some fairy lights which we keep up all year round, and we put them on every day during the sort of Christmas season, but normally we'll just pop them on if we're in the mood for, if we want cheering up, or if we've got guests and things like that, you know. But now we'll be having them on all the day, which will be nice. And I've always keep my card strings up as well, where I hang out my Christmas cards, because this is number 10, which is the light yellow. Again, I'm going to go over all of it, and hopefully it means that if I've missed any bits, I will sort of catch them with my yellow. Yeah, we keep the card strings up now. I did from last year, so that then if it's somebody's birthday, or you get a postcard or something like that, you can pop it up on the string. And I had my first Christmas card yesterday, so that was nice, so I could pop that up on the string. I had a friend over actually. I haven't seen her for 10 years. Been too long, way too long. And she brought me a Christmas card, which was kind, and a little gift and an advent calendar. It's so kind of her. It was really lovely. And I did have her card already written, ready to post, so I gave it to her, as I hadn't posted it yet. So that was, so at least I had something to give her, but I did give her lunch. It was easy. Me and one of my boys was home, and we'd already decided what we were going to cook. And I just said she could join us, or I gave her a few options because I wasn't sure, having not seen her for so long, what she liked. But she joined us, and so that was nice. There we go. I'm not leaving white in the middle. You might if you want it to look sort of shiny, but I don't really. Now, we've lost our leaves, haven't we? But we can use, this is where our pens can come in. I think the first thing I'm going to do is to grab this one. This is a metallic pen, okay? And this is number 554. And I'm going to go around the edge with this. Now you might want to use a ruler to do this, to get it really straight, but to be honest, I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfect. It doesn't need to be. Now, how much pen you put on this page, I can see so many places I've missed. Now my head's close to the page. I'm going to go back in a minute with my pen, so with my yellows. How much you do is completely up to you. It depends how much sparkle, and they're not sparkly, but you know what I mean. I guess they are a bit. Okay, so now we're around the edge. As I said, I'm just going to put my head a bit nearer. Hopefully you can't see my head in shot. I get my new glasses, I'll be able to see. Hurrah! I won't be able to colour very much though that day, because I've got to have some eye drops and a little eye exam. So yeah, I might struggle, especially with this book, but we'll see. I'm just going to sharpen up my next pencil. Yeah, I'm thinking about what to do about these golden leaves, because they are a bit too similar to the background. I messed up really, didn't I? There you go, sorry. If you'd started with a lighter yellow, or if I'd started with a lighter yellow, it might work better. You could put a bit of green on it, but I don't think that's necessarily going to work in with our colour scheme. As it goes well with our colour scheme, it just sort of disappears a bit. Maybe it's okay. Once I finish doing this, I'll have a sit back again and have a proper look. Let's do the lightest one. It's better if you sharpen them. I find they can produce a more intense colour if they're sharp. So yes, I'm very Christmassy excited. It's so nice to be doing festive pictures. I know I've done a few already, but I hadn't quite felt in the festive mood then. But I'm doing all sorts of colouring this month, not just festive themed, because I'm doing Rita Berman colouring her postcards, and they aren't, the ones I've got aren't festive. Right, I think I'm going to, let's do a bit of, let's add some glitter. I might not do this the same way on every picture. Yeah. Right, so I've got, these are glitter pens rather than just metallic. Okay, so I've got the red, gold and green. This is the bluey green. And I'm going to go around the outside of what I've done. I'm not going to colour right over it, or else I might as well have not done it in pencil. So this is number 721. And obviously the red, I hope. Hang on. No, that's pink. I suddenly thought it didn't look red. That's why I stuttered. Let's do, this is actually 719. That's the red. Phew, that was lucky, wasn't it? And I'm just trying to only go over Johanna's black lines. To just trace over the lines and add, you know, a little line of glitter to the edge. I don't want to go, it's not working very well, this pen. I think it's running out. I don't want to, oh, that's better. I don't want to add too much, as I said. Let me see if I've got some on every, I'm just trying to move it around, and the light, no, that bit, for some reason it didn't want to write there. And we have got some dots drawn on this middle petal. I'm just going to go over those as well. Try not to get too carried away with the old glitter. Oh, I was wondering whether anybody knows if there is such thing as a biodegradable glitter pen, because I know glitter is not supposed to be very good for the environment, but it's so pretty. And I was wondering, because I guess it's plastic, and I know you can buy biodegradable glitter, but I don't know if you can buy it in a pen. I'd like to try them. If anyone knows of any, can you let me know, please? I'd like to have a go. Right, that's the red. I'm going to do the gold leaves now with the gold. This is 703. And I'm going to do the stems as well. And that little bit. Now this isn't obviously quite the right colour, but I don't think that matters at all. The idea is to just add a highlight and some festive feeling to it. So I think, oh, that one doesn't want to write. Okay, I've got some scrap paper here. They are pretty good, but they can clog with glitter in the ends, which isn't really surprising. I haven't found a glitter pen that doesn't. But these are my favourite that I've ever used. I know a lot of people are a big fan of the Pentel, and they are good, but I really only like the gold and silver because you know what you're getting. With the other ones, because the glitter isn't the same colour as the gel, I get a bit confused as to which will be the best to use. So it's, yeah, maybe not my favourite, but that's okay. We don't all have to like the same thing. 729 is our sort of bluey green, so we're going to do these last bits. I'm going to do the stem as well. Oh, that one's really thick. Isn't that interesting? It must be have more gel in it. These are quite thick and gloopy when they're new, and they sort of get less as they get older, which makes sense as they dry out. I might not do the others the same as this with regards to the glitter and things. If I do my next one a bit different, then they'll all be different, but if I do my next one the same, then maybe they'll be all the same. But I'm just gonna see how it goes. I do have to stop though and not make my next video yet because my tumble dryer is just stopped. I need to go and check on that. Joy. I would like some dry towels today, so you know it's going to benefit me too, and I might have to just make a coffee. Now I'm just going to tip that to the camera and the light, so I can see whether I've missed any bits. So it might not be the best angle for you. Oh, I've missed that one down there completely. Right, a bit more to do. Good. Glad this has been a lot of fun. Now I've seen all sorts of different Christmas colours, so we're going to try different things. As I say, red and green for me is the key, the sort of, what I always think. But you see so many different ones that we're going to do something really different tomorrow. I've already got an idea for that, which is good. So, but for now, that is this one all done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a super day and happy colouring.